Today, we're looking at Private Reserve's Purple Mojo. Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm an ink guy. I get inks, test them, and share the results with you. Now, Private Reserve's Purple Mojo is a purple ink, although it leans quite a bit as a dark blue. It is purple. To make sure I have a range of experience with this ink, I do the writing samples. I put the ink into a different pen for a day. I then put it into a D-like alpha with a medium nib to take my notes for this video. Now before we go to the writing samples, let's look at the sciencey bits. Up first is the chromatography, and I agree with Vita that I've learned a lot by doing multiple chromatographies. The one on the left is done the way it's supposed to be done. I put a line of ink down and immediately put it into water for 10 to 15 seconds. We see that it flees the water. It pushes straight up. And then we see some purple and some blues. Not a ton of blues, but the blues that are there are very dark. But we see a lot of this purple here. The one on the right, I let dry for 10 minutes before I dunk it into water. The purple, while it's still pushing its way up, there's a little bit left behind. It's showing a very light purple that's pushing up, and I think we see just a little bit more of the blues coming through on this particular ink. Resistance tests are done to see how this ink can be expected to perform on the page, and more importantly, how hard it is to clean from your pen. Now I let the smear dry for 3 days before testing it. Looking at the highlighter, it went from an extra fine to about a medium. It blew out about that far, but it didn't blow out and become blurry and unreadable. It stayed very readable. It makes me feel safe using it in a note-taking situation. Now, looking at the water, it's completely reactivating and lifting all darkest tones from this ink. Surprisingly, some of that purple is left behind, and it's surprising because of how much it's fleeing the water in the chromatographies. But pen flush, while it does everything that water does, it does just a little bit more. We start to see some of the white of the paper coming through in areas. Making me say that pen flush is all you would need to clean this from your pen. 1/3 bleach solution absolutely removes it from the paper, but there is no reason to use a 1/3 bleach solution to clean this from your pen. For the inks I've tested, I've found an average viscosity of 2.5, with the realm of normal being from 2.1 to 2.9. Private Reserve's Purple Mojo has a viscosity of 2.2, making it normal. It's, just the wetter side, but still normal. To find my average dry times, I use my writing samples done with the extra fine and medium nib on Clairefontaine, Tomoe River, and Rhodia paper. For the inks I've tested, I found an average dry time of 17 seconds, with the realm of normal being from 13 to 21 seconds. Private Reserve's Purple Mojo has an average dry time of 21 seconds, making it just squeeze into normal. But it is the high side of normal. Now, let's look at the writing samples. I picked this ink up in sample form, and I think I got my sound figured out from the last couple videos when I had to change microphones. To keep my writing samples consistent, I use a Jinhao 159 with a Goulet 1.1 stub, a Jinhao X450 with a Goulet medium, and a Jinhao X750 with a Goulet extra fine. Let's take a look at the Clairefontaine. We get no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. The extra fine gives the exact same tone with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade, 13 seconds to dry. The medium is the same tone as the extra fine and the 1.1. It has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade, 22 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show no color variation, and we didn't get any. And the smear test, you could recover this for sure if you smeared while you were writing. Tomoe River, no bleeding, no ghosting, no bleeding. Plenty of ghosting. The bleed spots we do see that happen are where I'm putting it on in the scrubby, stupid thick, like an animal. But yeah, we get plenty of ghosting. Look at that. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade. I think this is the nicest tone for this ink that it gives is on this paper specifically. The extra fine is the same tone as the 1.1. It has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade, 20 seconds to dry. The medium gives the same tone as the extra fine and the 1.1. It has no feather, spread,
halo sheen, no shade, 39 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show no color variation. We didn't expect it, we didn't get it. And the smear test, you wouldn't be able to recover this. No, no thank you. The bleed spots the scrubby. I'm an animal putting it on. Other than that, we have no bleed, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade. The extra fine is the exact same tone as the 1.1. It has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade, 12 seconds to dry. The medium is the exact same tone as the extra fine and the 1.1. It has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade, 20 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation, and we didn't get any. In the smear test, you could recover this if you smeared while you were writing. Now, this ink is that boring ink. It's the same tone all the way through and all this stuff. Very predictable, just not a tone that I feel like is for me. The Monokaki, M-O-N-O-K-A-K-I. We get bleeding in the scrubby where I'm an animal. Other than that, no bleeding. We get plenty of ghosting. It is a thin paper. The 1.1 is no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. The extra fine is the exact same tone. No feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade. 10 seconds to dry. The medium is the exact same tone again with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade, and 19 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it and we didn't get it. The smear test, it looks like you could recover the extra fine, but not the medium. Interesting. Moleskin. Mole. Moles dig all the way through the paper. Lots of bleeding. But it did not touch the page underneath. I wouldn't call this show through as much as you're writing on the back of the page. Yeah. This is the medium. The medium has spread. It has a ton of disgusting feathers. No halo, sheen, or shade. The extra fine has no spread, but it has a ton of feathers all over. I'm going to move on. No halo, sheen, or shade. 2 seconds to dry. This scrubby shows us no color variation. We didn't get any. In a smear test, 100% you could recover this. No problem. What about 20-pound copy paper? Oh, yeah. There's bleed. I'm not even going to call it ghosting. Yep, it did touch the page underneath. It is a disgusting mess. The medium has spread, has feather, has no halo, sheen, no shade. It's ew. The extra fine has spread, has feather, has no halo, sheen, no shade. 1 second to dry. I don't know why I didn't do the scrubby. I don't know why I didn't do the smear test. Probably because of this and damaging just page after page after page underneath. But that is all that I have for the writing sample.
Instead of finding inks that look like Private Reserve's Purple Mojo, I would prefer to find an ink that complements its color on the page. I've chosen Diamine's Amber because it's a very nice yellow-orange leaning ink. Before I give my opinion on this ink, I would ask, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, I would invite you to subscribe. So what do I think of Private Reserve's Purple Mojo? This is much more blue with almost no purple except in the smear and the chromatography, but I don't see the purple in the writing. It looks blue. And I have blue inks I like, and they're not called purple. It left me disappointed. Another purple ink that looks blue. Disappointing. I'll call it purple because they call it purple, but it's blue. Blue. Do you see my disappointment here? I don't have anything else other than that. This is Blue Mojo. Thanks for watching.